Yeah.
I think this episode
You said
30.
it, I didn't.
Hello, and welcome back to the studio. It is now not 1 million degrees in the town of Mildura. And it's kind of
It's not
covering
where
up.
we live, that's just for educational purposes.
We live in the Loddon Mallee region.
I'm in South Africa.
South Africa. We're in South Africa right now.
Mm-hmm.
South Africa. This is episode 30, I believe. And today we have the returning guest, Chris, because everyone else doesn't come on. How are you?
Good.
That is good. I bring you here today to discuss
Oh, no.
death. It's pretty dramatic. Maybe I should give you a bit of a summary though. Like,
Okay.
you know how like I always said I had like these lists of like subjects and stuff that I used to like choose the topic.
Mm.
Yeah, I returned back to like the first episode, which was death, and I don't think it aired. I can't remember. I think it probably did. Yeah, and my main thing is like remembering death, and the only reason why I bring this up is just because like how depressed I've been recently.
That's a lot to process.
I'm not suicidal.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
So what do you mean, like as in
Like,
being... Is it something that you deal with like often? Or is it like something's happened?
oh no, it's something to do with often. Like, it's one of those things, like, you know, like how it's more or less one of those things where it's like remembering that you die sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like it only spurred on just because I had a day where like I wasted my time.
So?
Yeah, so?
Yeah.
Well, I could have been spending a lot better time doing something else. I've only got so many minutes of my life.
Yeah, so why not enjoy them no matter what you're doing?
Impossible.
It's fun. Yeah, I'm the same, but
Yeah.
I'm not that. It's the same thing on my days off. You have a day where you just like you sleep and then like
Yeah.
you sleep in too much.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was like that. No, I sleep in too much and I get into like that habit of you wake up, kind of can't be bothered doing anything. Sit around for like 3 hours, 4 hours.
Until
It's like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Until you
And you're
finally do
like,
something.
you're like, oh, nah, I might go to the gym. Maybe I do, maybe I
Yeah.
don't. And then
I wonder why that is. Like, I wonder why like there's days where like you could smash out like a shit ton of things, but then all of a sudden, the days where you just can't. I wonder what happens when like.
fatigue. It's like the ups and the downs,
Yeah.
peaks and the troughs.
What do you think? Like, in your case, what leads to you to getting fatigued usually? Fatigued.
Like as in, lack of recovery.
Yeah.
I think that mental recovery is like the thing that builds up so quickly,
Yeah.
like with work and stuff.
Yeah.
If you're just not being mindful, or you're not. So I was thinking about this. I actually caught myself the other day.
Yeah.
I was at home and I was still like ED nursing at home. Like you get home and you're like prioritising tasks at home and prioritising tasks in your life, and you're at home, you're like, come on over here, you're doing this, and you're sprinting across the house and you're doing this, and you're getting, and like, holy shit, I'm just me, like I haven't left work. I'm at home, and still running around getting tasks done.
Yeah.
And just like I haven't switched off from there. And then I think after a while that just builds up of like no proper downtime.
Yeah.
And just go, like I'm just the same as I am at work. Then you come home, then it's just, come home, go train,
Yeah.
eat, study, go to bed, wake up. There's no turning off.
Yeah. Just on
And then
on,
you
on.
get to your days off, and then when you crash,
Yeah.
hard.
And do you think also like with like nursing itself, like the sleep schedule is not ideal
No,
for
it's
like
hard because you can't get into that. Your body doesn't get into.
a routine?
Yeah.
Like you break
And
your
you're also
rhythm
like,
all the time.
your body's like in shock almost 24/7. Doesn't know when to turn on, when to switch off.
Yeah.
That's why you're either like an insomnia, up all night, like a lot of people with shift work. Can't go to bed on like a morning shift.
Or
so
a
they're up
napper.
until like, or you sleep all day.
Yeah.
And people sleep like 14, 15 hours.
Yeah.
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 Days off, you just crash.
It's horrible. Like, it makes me hate it, because, like, it really, like, ruins your motivation to do anything. It's like, it makes it so hard to get up and go. And you notice the difference in, like, for me personally, like in performance. Like in like sports performance, like football or CrossFit, you really notice the difference, and it's kind of like annoying because you want to do well in those things.
Yeah. Especially in an environment where it can vary so much.
Yeah.
In the acute setting,
yeah,
the environment changes from day to day, so you can have days where you'll go home and you'll go to the gym and you'll feel amazing and it'll be the best workout ever, and then you have days where you go home and you just can't put anything together and everything's on manual mode.
Yeah, you just flat as attack. And you can't even like process information. It takes like half an hour to figure out like what lettuce is or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I just find it quite interesting, like how like it's quite interesting how how out of control we actually are. We actually don't have that much control of ourselves. Like there's only so much control we do have of ourselves. Yeah. I remember listening to a podcast by Andrew Huberman about dopamine, and it's all related to that as well. Like depending upon where you put your.
I think the body functions best when it has a rigid routine and structure.
Yeah.
You get the best performance out of yourself.
Well, because sleep's like the first pillar of health. Like if you have a good sleep schedule and you have regular REM sleep, you're gonna have you're gonna be optimal. Your central nervous system will be primed for everything you need to do in the day. But sadly, we don't have that luxury of actually having proper recovery.
And of course that changes. Like some people prefer to wake up early, some people prefer to
wake up later.
And a little bit later, yeah. But it's always, there's a schedule, I guess.
So do you think the system doesn't really cater to, like, in general, not just us as shift workers, but like people in general, like your regular day-to-day Joe, like maybe we're not really catering to those people at all. Like it's actually, we're developing people with health issues and we don't even know it. Like, because we're forcing these people to work at these rigid time frames when, like, that's probably not their natural, like, what their body prefers.
Yeah.
That and also...
there's a lot of a push, with working from home to be able to... Like, a lot of people who work from home during COVID didn't have a schedule. They just had, like, a set stuff that they had to get done.
Yeah.
And then show up for a meeting here and there. Which is what you do at work, essentially, anyway.
Yeah.
A lot of people at work just come in 9 to 5, have a set amount of stuff that they have to get done for the day, and then go home. It's not like...
I'm trying not to sneeze. Keep going. Let's try. I should borrow a box of tissues now. Keep going, listen. Try. Yeah. Okay. No, but... Anyway, to bring back to, like, the whole thought of death thing, like, it comes back to that whole, like... Because, like, with my life goals, everything's pretty time crucial. And, like, when you have, like, a day where you can't... Like, you seem to... Like, you'll be stuck, like, paralysed on the couch. You're just thinking, like, I need to do this, but I can't.
Oh, like stuck in, like, a depression.
Yeah, and it's not like, woe is me depression. Like, this is specifically me coming off night shift. Like, I'd come off night shift and I had to switch the daytime for the study day today. And during that phase, like, I'm in, like, my physical depressed state. Like, I'm, like, mentally and physically fatigued.
Yeah.
Like, it's because I'm shifting my body around. Like,
what can you do?
I don't know. Just quit my job, go live in the forest.
You could do that.
But that doesn't really achieve the goals I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go work 9 to 5 job.
Yeah. Maybe work in community once I've done my masters.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah, that'll probably end up being my choice if I get a 9 to 5 job out of that. That'd be so good. 9 to 5, wake up.
It's not only 9 to 5, Matt.
Yeah.
Monday to Friday.
Wait, 9 to 5.
No public holidays. You get all of Easter off. You get Christmas. They get, like, a week or whatever off over Christmas, New Year's.
Yeah.
It's not just like Monday to Friday every week. You get every single public holiday off. You don't have to show up.
Yeah.
Like, all of this stuff.
That'd be so good.
Working full time, and you get paid full time too.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
I know, it sounds pretty good. Like, you're pretty keen about that, Yeah.
Yeah. That was actually probably one of the big... There was a few big things that what I'm looking at when I'm looking at perhaps transferring over to mental health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Working community.
It's not official yet, but...
No. So you're waiting for the results, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm going to wait for the results and then...
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's looking pretty promising.
Yeah. Do you get contact?
An
interview?
not an interview because a lot of the nuns actually at the hospital
Mm.
are on annual leave at the moment.
Oh, okay, yeah. This is like...
Apparently, I was told that a query whether executives told them to all take leave before winter comes here because they reckon this is going to be a really long flu season.
Yeah.
This year, so trying to get everyone on the acute wards and everything just to take as much annual leave now before we get to the winter period, because it'll just be non-stop.
Yeah.
Which would be great.
Beautiful.
I'm looking forward to it.
Flu season. Have you got your flu jab yet?
No, apparently it's...
I haven't got it. People were talking about it, but I haven't got it.
No, I haven't got it.
I think only the elderly people, the crusties get it at the moment.
Yeah.
I think that's...
I think it's due end of May or something like that. I got a reminder the other day.
Yeah. Oh, here's another...
I just wait until they go around, they do the drive at work, and you just show up, get stabbed, and you move on.
And go on, yeah.
Yeah, you get a little card and you move on. But I haven't heard anything about my COVID jab. I've only had 3 and I've had COVID once after my 3rd one.
Yeah.
Which made me exempt from getting the 4th one. But...
Yeah. Well, I didn't want to get the jab. I didn't really want to get the COVID jab to begin with.
Didn't you?
No, I was afraid of having any side effects.
Well, yeah, with the evidence that's come out now, and they're talking about that they found out that they lied about COVID side effects and how prominent perhaps things were.
Omitted, I think they probably did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, in the situation they're in, kind of understand, I guess. But,
yeah. But giving like a young kid, like there's a lot of young athletes have myocarditis and...
Yeah. Well, yeah, and there's a reason why perhaps vaccines take a long time, or medications always take a long time to be produced, and that's because there are always side effects of every medication you take. There are going to be even Panadol is nephrotoxic.
Yeah.
So, take it a long time, fucks up your kidneys or whatever, but, that's why things take forever to be produced.
Yeah.
So anytime you cut corners in how long it's going to take, unfortunately there are side effects, but I guess...
Oh, this isn't the first vaccine to have like issues, like the polio vaccine when it first came out years ago had issues as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it's,
It comes with the territory.
It comes with the situation everyone was in and the, I guess, endless void of how do we deal with COVID, everyone's in lockdown.
Did you hear about it, like how they're saying it's come from the Wuhan lab that actually like just mainstream media is saying that now?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like how casual they are about going, oh yeah, it was actually from a lab.
Well, if the evidence suggests it, then...
But before, like when that was suggested by crazy people, conspiracy theorists.
How many conspiracies have been right, my friend?
I don't know, probably like 12%. I want to know what the percentage is, but like not all conspiracy theories are right. But
they lied about pretty much every war so far.
Yeah.
Since World War II.
The UFOs.
There's always been lied about. Now they're like talking about possible UFOs and coming out about like the mind control things came out.
Yeah.
And how, you know what I'm saying?
I've actually got
like stuff that starts as like tinfoil hat. Nah, that's never gonna happen.
Yeah.
That's not reality, man.
Yeah.
And some other stuff you're like, oh shit, or it's true but not as true.
Yeah.
So it's only true to a degree.
Yeah.
Like mind control.
Yeah.
MK Ultra stuff. It's like they tried and they failed. So maybe they succeeded, but probably not.
Yeah.
But the idea, no, the government would never have done mind control stuff. That's just silly.
Never, ever. No, because there hasn't been any period in history where the government's tried to do anything wrong or bad to the people.
Never.
No.
Never happens.
I wonder what sort of people actually like go into government power, like in that position of power where they actually are wanting, or is it actually the people in government or the people under government that want those things to happen?
They want the power. I think most people who want to go into government, when it comes down, when you analyse what it is, it's not necessarily always being tyrannical. Some of them are, but it's, I want my ideology to be the way of the world. Whenever you ask them, it's not. Like, how many people have you sat down who are super into politics, want to be politicians, who are like, I don't care what policy gets brought into place, I just want to govern like the people fairly and, let this is what I think, but I like diligence. It's always, I hate the other side.
Yeah.
I want to, I want
Justice.
my policies to be the way.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people go into politics, they want the power
Mm.
and then the money that comes with that.
What do you think happens to those people to become that way?
I don't know. Just everyone wants power.
Yeah.
Like,
In some sense.
I think everyone wants the power over, even if it's just to not necessarily like put others down, but sort of to lift yourself up.
Mm. Well, it's kind of
and
nice.
Put yourself in a better position where
Yeah.
you can start to govern. If you're in control of the country and whatever you say goes, then you've essentially got almost ultimate freedom of the ultra rich.
Mm.
To just do whatever you want, whenever you want, and get away with it.
And that clearly comes from being... Well, we're clearly, we're hierarchical then.
Mm.
I reckon it comes from, some deep-seated childhood issues. But
Okay, yeah.
as well. There's
You
probably...
go into that.
It's probably more... it's really complex. It's probably not
I think
just
it's the
that.
natural want to always, people always have the natural want to take over something. Like, I want it to be my way, and it just sort of stems to... I'm interested to see how much of them have antisocial traits in terms of I want to manipulate people and move my way and that kind of thing.
That'd be very interesting. See, what if they're really really antisocials? Because you never meet them in a psychiatric unit. They're pretty rare to find an antisocial that's quite intelligent. Imagine antisocial that actually has some brains. That'd be very, very interesting to see how that works out. And malicious. I wonder what the mind of an antisocial person is.
The what?
The mind of an antisocial person is somebody that doesn't care about others and is willing to do whatever it takes to gain something.
Well, it's just what's the mind of anyone? It's just what you think. It's what you truly believe, and you see it as whatever it is that you believe is the truth.
Yeah.
It's just like that, but that's for them. When you talk to people, it's some obscure thing that they believe. It's just what they think based on what they've experienced or been told.
Actually, I should probably bring up one thing. No, we'll stick with this. Anyway, I think they were probably abandoned as children. Actually, no. What sort of child becomes a politician? Somebody who has either been told they're the greatest and can do whatever they want and they'll be a leader over and over again and bolstered up. So they actually have the confidence to actually go out and do the things that they're doing and actually believe what they're saying is somewhat the truth and only truth, without question. Or somebody that is being bullied harshly and wants power to actually have some sort of, maybe some remedy for their past. Yeah.
Like police officers.
Yeah.
Same thing with police officers. You see that it's it's not about, hey, I want to uphold justice and true justice and work for the people.
Yeah. It's because of smashing people.
It's I want to go and beat up all the bad guys, and if anyone looks at me different, I'm going to throw them in prison and fuck you.
Yeah.
So many of them that people want to be cops. That's what it's like.
Yeah.
Security guards are like that too. Security guards are very antisocial.
Yeah.
Bouncers.
Yeah.
Bouncers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would have to have some narcissistic traits as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't see Islander bouncers being that way though. I think we need to get a...
I just think they're big and it's easy to throw people
they're
out
so
when you're
friendly.
that size.
What are you doing here, bro? Perfect. They're so friendly.
Yeah, it's kind of like moving a chair to them.
Yeah. It's just, that's it in their life. Because they're
Time to go home, bro.
You drink too much, eh?
They're great.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on today in the study day at work? We discussed about recovery-based language. So changing your terminology so it doesn't seem as harsh. Such as changing words from committed murder to completed committed suicide to completed suicide. Because of the negative connotations around committed suicide. Change it, apparently. manipulates the way you perceive suicide. Which I think that depends on the person. To some extent it does.
It's like changing the language to make things softer, to change the way that they're perceived.
Yeah.
I was actually thinking about this today with feedback and getting feedback. Obviously, working in a new environment, you're going to get in a difficult environment.
Yeah.
I've been getting a lot of feedback, and some has been broken to me very well, and some has been bad. And reflecting on, how do I receive feedback?
Yeah.
And I think it highlighted it's more important how things are received when you say something, not necessarily how you say them.
Yeah.
Or getting it across. Like people, for example, if you're going to give someone feedback, you need to make sure that if they receive that in a way that's negative and they'll just put up their shields and go and blow you off and fuck you. But if you change the language and the way you approach things, people will take it on a lot more. Or more people, like some people really, respond well to just bluntness, but not many people do, especially in an environment or a situation where you're emotionally vulnerable. Like feedback, or if you want to sit down and talk to someone about, hey, when you tried to attempt to end your life, or talking around perhaps their drug abuse or stuff like that, you want to use language that doesn't make them put their guard up or disconnect from the conversation. I think that could work.
Yeah.
But
it's very tricky though.
Where does it start? Where does it stop?
Yeah.
Are you then sort of decreasing the severity of perhaps the situation, or I don't know.
I think in the context of feedback, of course, depending upon the individual, of course, for somebody to change their mind, in the sense of changing their mind, that generally is the person that you're talking to that does it. Because I can't physically change your mind. All I can do is put in incentives for you to think about then you change your mind. You've got the tools to change your mind. I have nothing really. I can't do much besides just chuck out word salads. But yeah, depending upon the feedback, and in that sort of context, words really do matter.
Picking the right approach.
Of course, it's the same in mental health ward. Like I personally, I take depending on the person I'm interacting with on the ward, I'll sit back and think about how am I going to approach this person. What would seem to be the best approach to be successful in this communication, so I can actually have the best outcome. It's generally what I do before I go in to interact with somebody. But in the sense of changing, let's say as a team, on an individual level, trying to change the language that is used, such as changing committed suicide to completed suicide, that is that is still the same as contextual as how you deal with a person. The way I see committed suicide, I have no negative connotations associated with that. I just know the words suicide are involved in committed, as in you've committed to something, and I don't see any negative association. But somebody else sees committed as the same as committed murder, because they've already have a negative association with suicide. They may have this whole bias and preconceived judgment upon suicide. So it's very tricky, if that makes sense. So when you're adjusting language, what you're doing is and if you really want to enforce that, what you're doing is you're enforcing a style of groupthink when you start doing it on the individual level, because then now you're trying to get everyone to think the same, which is useful in a team-based and workplace environment, but it's not good when you're trying to seek some sort of individual-based resolutions. I don't know. Does that make sense? Yeah.
So what you're saying is just it works on an overall scale, but when you're going from person to person, you have to tailor. The language you use is just the language.
Yeah, it has to be tailored. You can't just be going, oh, you've committed. You can't say I committed. You've committed to try to commit suicide. You have to find out what seems to be the language that works.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not a matter of a checklist. It's a matter of assessing what needs to be said for that person. Like when you're giving feedback to somebody who can take blunt feedback, somebody needs to have soft feedback. Like recovery is very subjective and it's dependent upon the person. That's the conversation I wanted to have today, but we had no time to have that conversation. That's why I brought it up. But do I sound like it makes sense or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just tailoring it to what they want.
Yeah. I just know I really resist systems because because I have issues with systems because I hated systems. Because then you leave behind some people that you forget to look after. Yeah. You have to be always adapting. Anyway, that was a random segue. Yeah. So have you been receiving some harsh feedback?
Yeah, of course, you get it. Like in the ED, there's no time to be able to sit down and be like, hey, look, this is what happened. And it's just like, that's wrong.
Yeah. You did it wrong. Yeah.
You did it wrong.
Yeah.
You idiot.
Yeah.
And when you're in the moment and you're like flat out running around, it's been like 7 hours since you sat down or drank water.
Yeah, and especially if you're stressing, you just...
Yeah. And because on the flip side, sick people who you're like, oh shit, I did something wrong. For someone who was only ever intending to do things right. Yeah.
Yeah. And it probably hangs with you for a little while. Do you feel like it hangs with you for a bit?
What?
Does that...
those negative engagements.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very hard to you go home and you just overthink it.
Yeah.
And you sit there. Yeah. It is, we talked about, I don't know if they've done it, they do it on every other wards, the speaking up for safety.
Yeah.
Do they do that on,
Not much in Ward 5, no. We have safe wards.
No.
Which is a bit different it's similar to that sort of stuff.
Yeah, because I haven't seen it on any other ward except for ED, which makes sense because it's ED and they've had a lot of problems in the emergency environment with...
What's a high-risk environment?
Yeah. And they talk about, if you, previous engagements affecting how your future, how you're going to engage with someone in the future. So if you have a negative engagement with someone and someone just yells at you or blows you off or tells you that you're useless or whatever at work, you're not going to go and ask them for help ever again.
Yeah.
It's just not...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I had that with particular leadership. I wouldn't, exactly right, within that environment, I would not want to approach them at all.
No, of course you don't.
Because, you're just they're not going to be able to help me because all the interactions have been negative.
Yeah.
Yeah. So why would I want to go engage with that person? Which doesn't make sense, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you find it hard to deal with your anxieties?
Anxieties around what?
Like work.
Like work. It depends whether I can acknowledge what's going on. That's probably the hardest thing. Is always being in denial. So I'll always be like, nah, it's just a shitty, whatever.
Yeah.
Just a, shitty workplace, or it's this or it's that.
Yeah.
But then lately being able to strip it down and be like, oh, okay, it's because I'm anxious about, this skill deficit or whatever.
Yeah.
And you start to deal with it that way.
Yeah.
And then I guess reflecting on, and reflecting, I guess, not just reflecting on the situation, but reflecting with, I guess, I don't know, giving yourself a bit of leeway as well, being like, well, what did I know that at the time? No. What was the best I could have done? And just, I think, if you're making a decision or a choice, or, you acted in a certain way at the time, but you thought that was the right thing for you to do.
Yeah.
And genuinely, at the time, it was the right thing for you to do, given the information and the training and the whatever you have, because hindsight's always, 20/20.
Yeah.
And yeah, it might have been the poor decision to make, but what else could have you done? Doesn't necessarily mean that you're, I don't know.
Doesn't mean you're an inferior person or shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You made the best decision you could at the time, and
yeah,
what happened, and Sometimes things go good, sometimes things go bad.
Yeah. As long as nobody dies at the end of the day and people know what's going on, that's fine. Usually, yeah.
But yeah, of course, you get like, you don't want to go to work or whatever. Up all night.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's not a good thing, I don't think. I don't think, like, being up all night not wanting to go to work is a good sign of your workplace environment. That's your feet. Oh, that's your jumper.
Yeah. And support, too.
Yeah.
Having support at work is important. That's probably why a particular environment was at the highest of my preferences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hint, hint. None of the ward staff watch this podcast, so... we only have like 31 subscribers.
We have 31 subscribers.
Yeah, and I think we have, on Instagram, we have way more.
Do we?
We have like 120 followers or something like that.
Wow.
And yeah, awesome. I think we're getting more because like there's a video I posted. I'll show you later. It's fucking ridiculous. It's weird what people like, what goes viral and what doesn't.
What did?
Like, there's a video of me like filming a kangaroo that Caitlin was feeding in New South Wales.
Yeah.
It got over 16,000 likes. Yeah. It's fucking the most...
On Instagram?
Yeah. It's the most bare... It's still getting likes now. It's the most... Here, I'll show you. It's the most bare bones fucking video. And people, oh, so cute! Oh, the kangaroo! It's... Oh, makes me disappointed in society, doesn't it? It's okay. It's a cute kangaroo.
How good.
And then everyone's like, oh, be careful. It's got 17.1k likes.
17.
This is the first viral video I've ever made in my life. And it's got, like, no effort. Just like this podcast.
It's just Caitlin.
Yeah.
The kangaroo, like...
Yeah. If you want to watch this video, go like it on Instagram.
Spitting back kicks Caitlin.
That's what I was hoping, but no.
What's she feeding it?
Weet-Bix. We fed it Weet-Bix. Apparently it comes to the backyard all the time.
My eyes are so terrible.
Yeah.
But apparently they're 20/20 vision.
I really should dust this place.
That's it. There's no music.
Nothing.
There's no commentary.
25 comments.
It's not like the kangaroo's like cuddling Caitlin or anything crazy like that. That's interesting what like finds the meta.
Yeah. Like I guess because like Australian kangaroo travel, like
it's Caitlin, not you.
It's Caitlin on me, like, you know. Maybe I should just wear like women's clothes in a wig and just see like actually that's how you get followers. Oh, let's not bring it up any controversial topics. Did you hear about the powerlifter that identified as a woman to like beat the women's records?
Yeah, now they've banned fucking trains.
Yeah, he was the Canadian coach for the women's powerlifting team. I guess he's doing it to prove a point. Like when you like have your whole life being exposed to testosterone and then change your gender, you're not gonna be on an even playing field.
No, of course not.
No, it's like being on steroids.
Yeah, there are key biologic. That is interesting to talk about. It's interesting that men's testosterone overall is lowering and females is hiring over like raising.
Yeah.
So they're going like this essentially.
And their taints are shrinking. Men's taints are shrinking. And that's a sign of
getting smaller.
Yep, sign of low testosterone. Small dick, small taint men. Yeah.
And this time like, men's grip strength is failing.
Yeah, I think that's
like
because
females is almost as strong as men's now.
Yeah, that is interesting. I wonder what their testing group is.
Just average people.
Yeah. Oh, that's a.
You're probably gonna say, why don't they test like jiu-jitsu people or like
with the people with the strongest grips?
Who go powerlifters.
Yeah.
Like,
well, because that's kind of like they're the. Well, people.
That's not. I realized that the other day. I was like, if you can bench like 100 kilos, you're in like
the top 1%,
0.5% of like the world.
Yeah.
With strength. And it's just something that people just go to the gym and it's like, 100 kilos. Yeah, you're pretty good now. You can lift weights.
Yeah, but then you realize how niche the group is. Like you realize like people who like regularly exercise are very niche.
Yeah.
Like that's not every day. Like that's
And then of all the people that go to the gym and regularly exercise, and then all the people that actually lift heavy.
Yeah.
consistently to be able to build that kind of strength.
So rare. It's very interesting to think you could if you continue exercising and lifting and getting stronger, you could be 0.01% of the population.
Already am.
Yeah, already am, bruh. Stonk. I was talking to a fellow when I was at a CrossFit gym and we'll do a bench press, and to my body weight, which is currently 75, I can bench over 100 kilos, which is like that makes my bench press is in above the 1%.
Optimal bench presses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't squat as heavy as I can. Well, I can actually squat heavier, but in ratio.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very interesting. Yeah. You can just be. Yeah. It's very and that's probably why as well. It's because a lot of the modern men now, a lot of modern people, don't do anything physical anymore. There's no need to be a high testosterone, high energy, there's no need because the jobs aren't necessarily like that.
Well,
anymore.
the jobs aren't physical. The lifestyle isn't physical.
Yeah.
Everything's super easy nowadays.
Nutrition's different. It's poor nutrition.
Just sitting inside playing video games all the time, which is fine. Nothing wrong with playing video games.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with watching anime. Nothing wrong with watching TV all night. Doing it maybe once a week.
Yeah.
But the people aren't then also going to the gym. Nobody's. Yeah.
Yeah. It's. Yeah.
And I think as well, to speak on that, is women are working more now. They're not just at home.
Yeah.
Cooking and cleaning anymore. They're doing the jobs. They're out there.
Yeah. I wonder if that boosts testosterone.
I think it would. Yeah. I think.
Because I guess it kind of develops a kind of testosterone sort of. Yeah. The high energy sort of thing. I wonder how how high testosterone was in the Neanderthal era.
Probably pretty fucking high.
Yeah. Just chucking mammoths.
Go back in time. Drop off a barbell.
Yeah. Just squat this. Ugh. you proceed to use it as a club.
It's just a rogue power rack.
Yeah.
In the Ice Age.
So you think that's probably the cause that women are doing more things, or?
Yeah, and I think men are just getting softer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
women are being forced to sort of be more independent. More independent, doing their own thing, exercising, doing whatever. More women are going into more male jobs.
Yeah.
And I think that's just kind of how it is. And of course, I think it's almost like a seesaw in a way. When the women's testosterone's going up, then the men kind of falls down to.
Yeah.
Because they always talk about the opposites. If the females goes up, the males sort of come down.
Yeah.
A little bit. That's why very masculine men wants very feminine women.
Yeah.
A woman. And then you see feminine men, and they want, they obsess over muscle girls, or they want to be picked up and stuff like they're feminine. They're stereotypically feminine traits and desires to be the beta or the. I don't want to get too much into so.
Let's not Andrew Tate this podcast,
but
please.
To be the to be dominated and to be the more submissive person.
Yeah.
Because that exists. You can't really have a relationship going I haven't seen a successful relationship where it's two people being alphas on their own. It doesn't really work. Someone has to have the. You even see that in gay relationships, for example. One person's more feminine than the other, even though they're both from the same gender.
Yeah.
You've always. That's why you stereotypically got the butch female and the.
Yeah.
Very, the more feminine.
And that's why
female.
Caitlin's
They assume those.
Those roles.
Yeah, does Caitlin pick you up? Carry you around?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah. And then you correct her.
It's like
your Gable group isn't.
This poor Gable group. You need to get
Where are your feet?
You need a level change first.
Yeah.
Okay, that is interesting. I actually find that. I wonder what the attraction is for stick boys. Those how young girls really love those thin, slim boys. They can't do anything.
Yeah.
My brain goes to survival. If you're in a survival situation, I wouldn't trust that man. Yeah. I trust the fat man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times for like young people, they want to date, especially young women, not to speak on their behalf, but it seems that they always want to date the complete opposite. So if you look at the generation before of more masculine, dominant, perhaps men, they want to find like what is the complete opposite, and I'm going to date that.
Harry Styles.
So I'm going to date the guy who's partying and drinking and carrying on, whilst my dad's talking about finding a nice man who earns lots of money and
Yeah, someone that
I think it's something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe we should get.
I find it very interesting that like mums or like people in that 30 and 40-year-old range, something seems to switch back to like stereotypical what they're looking for. I want a man that has lots of money. I want a man that's
that can provide. Well, that's because the clock starts ticking at that point. Because like if their goal is to have children, you want to provide.
And I think that changes it. And let's just say they're a single mother as well.
Yeah,
they understand that like, hey, the fuckboy who wanted to go out and party all the time didn't stick around.
Yeah,
because they don't have any kind of like
desire or plan to.
They don't have any kind of desirable traits. All the wrong traits that I was looking for. Yeah. Guess what?
No much alone with a kid.
That is interesting. Do you think perhaps a lot of women are going to end up, I think a lot of people, but I think a lot of women are going to end up unhappy in society?
Well, I think a lot of people are going to end up unhappy.
Yeah.
But if I can't speak on the behalf of like women, but I wish I had like my sister to have a chat with, Emma come on, or like someone. But I think with the way the modern world is structured, there's not only women that are going to be unhappy, but men, because the society that we have developed actually break down the natural needs and desires we want, and we use our like logic and rationale to fight that. Whereas like that's not what we need. We need to work with our natural behaviours in order to actually feel somewhat normal and comfortable. Like there's those natural like inherent things.
What don't they talk about? Isn't it the hierarchy of needs? I forget.
Maslow's hierarchy. That's different though.
Yeah, but it's the same sort of like.
There
is a natural side to your,
to your needs.
Yeah, and I think they've taken let's just say that out of everyone in the population, how many people could genuinely live a life where they don't get married, they don't have kids, they don't ever settle down and still be happy? Might be like 1% of people.
I reckon I could do that.
Like maybe you could get to 1%.
Yeah.
Of the population.
Yeah.
But then that's being sold as like, how great is that? Everyone should do that. I think a lot of people are buying into that idea.
Yeah.
And I've seen people who are now like 35, don't have a partner, don't have kids, don't have anything, and it's like scrambling to put your life together.
Yeah. Like, what do you want out of your life?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's going on with this footy season?
What's going on with the footy season?
Fuck me. Geelong's lost 3 games in a row.
Yeah.
Has it been 3 in a row? It's been 3 in a row.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on, man. And the Roos have won 2.
Yeah. Saints are on top, aren't they?
Yeah, on top of the ladder.
Saints are on top of the ladder. They were like that last season, though, and then they kind of
dropped down.
Fell off very hard.
Yeah. I'd love to see a different team at the end of the year.
Yeah. Maybe Geelong are too old and too slow.
Yeah.
They just don't seem... I think last year they had a pretty magical year, and they got... Something that they were doing last year was right.
Yeah.
They seem to be able to rotate their players really well.
Yeah.
Seem to be very selfless, and they just got the job done week after week after week, and then it all paid off towards the end. Maybe that's not the same way it is this year. Maybe they've just...
gone.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe something went wrong in the pre-season. Maybe the coaching. Maybe there's a shift because there's a lot of staff that goes into it. It's not just you got the football players.
Yeah.
And the coach. There's a whole list of coaching staff, and then the staff that's around the coaching staff and the trainers and everything. Maybe there's been something shifted in the executive team.
Yeah.
Maybe there's been, who knows? Who knows? Like there was that thing with the Adelaide Crows.
Yeah.
You remember? And then came out that that's this whole fucked situation during the preseason.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Who do you think is going to be on top at the end of the year?
No, I think it's going to win.
Yeah.
Collingwood.
Probably.
100%. They're my favourite team to watch right now.
Unless Brisbane fucking spin it around somehow. But Collingwood have been playing very well.
Well, my question after last year is they lucked so many games last year. So many games where you could have lost, they won by like one goal.
Yeah.
Or whatever, where you're like, well, maybe that goes different. You know, this person fucks up their handball and it spills out and they don't get the goal.
Yeah, we're talking about Collingwood or Brisbane?
Collingwood. Yeah. So I was like, are they going to get better next year? And they did.
They seem like they're a bit more of a solid team.
Yeah. They've got such a good fan base. Like, I don't know about them personally, but every single game is packed.
Yeah.
To the brim. And it was like that last year when no other team could fill a stadium.
Yeah.
Collingwood and Carlton were the two teams that could pack a stadium last year.
It is one of the oldest teams.
Yeah.
I really should have done this place. It's really fucking me up. Anyway. We'd rather leave it here, Chris. It's been 46 minutes.
That was the Thought Anthology number something.
30, I think.
30.
Thank you very
If it's
much.
not 30, you have to put 30, I think.
I'll just like, chuck it over the top. Thank you very much for listening. Like and subscribe, and take care. Bye.